just about all the metal that's in it. The rest of it is a great big plastic bug, if you like. But they are great fun, and the view out of this cockpit is unparalleled. I mean, it genuinely is. He can see everything around him in all directions. And a number of law enforcement organisations in the US have actually started using these in place of helicopters, because if you imagine a helicopter costs around about £2,500 an hour to fly. It's a very, very expensive business, helicopters. They require a lot of engineering. Whereas this thing, you're looking probably at about £250 to £300 an hour to fly something like that. And you can mount all sorts of sensors, because it's a two-seat aircraft. If the back seat is empty, you can mount all sorts of TV or infrared technology, any kind of sensors you like on the back of it, and operate it literally as the flying eye in the sky. And as you can see, it may not be a helicopter, but into a strong wind, you can get very close to hover as Pete's letting it decay and then spinning downwards. He really does know how to get the very best out of this aeroplane. He's been doing this display for about 6 years now, and I've seen it a number of times. And every now and then, it stops me dead in my tracks. Autogyros began to be developed back in the late 1920s. A Spanish chap by the name of Juan de la Sierra developed the concept. And it was picked up in this country by Avro, A.B. Rowe, the same people who later went on to build the Lancaster. And A.B. Rowe used aircraft fuselages such as an Avro 504 and simply took the wings off, put a rotor on the top. Bingo, instant autogyro. They also developed a thing called the Avro rotor, which was tested and used by what at the time was the Infant Army Air Corps in the late 1930s. As a battlefield reconnaissance aircraft, because it could fly so very, very slowly, close to the edge of the battle area. They took a good look at that. They did buy, I believe, about 3 squadrons worth, but they never actually operated them in combat. They go right into the bay there. This is the perfect location for an airshed. Not only is it a beautiful place, but look at what Pete's able to do. He can get right up to the ground. Now after the war, the advent of helicopters, the whole autogyro concept kind of died with death for a long time. And it was only in the 1960s and 1970s that a chap in the UK called Ken Wallace started Wallace Autogyros. And you may remember, if you've ever seen the James Bond film You Only Live Twice, you may remember Little Nelly. Now that was one of Ken Wallace's autogyro designs. Again, it awoke interest in the military. It also awoke interest in people who were looking for an aerial platform for surveys. And a goodly number of them were sold. Nowadays, of course, a large number of companies, including the company that built this one, which is Gyro Flugzeuge of Hildesheim in Germany, have started building autogyros again because they've become very popular, not only as surveillance platforms, but also as light commuter aircraft. You can land them in a very small space. At the moment, there's even a company in Italy who are working on an electric-powered version of this aircraft.
Interesting.
The major problem being, of course, the weight of the batteries.
The batteries. Everything electric has batteries.
And Pete doing what he calls the Humpty Bumps up and down along the flight line. It's its ability to turn on a sixpence like that. I mean, he literally flicked it round in its own length. That's what gives this aircraft its great strength. And you can see there, Pete's got his big foam hand out. He does this at the end of his display. If you look in the cockpit, ladies and gentlemen, you can see he's got this great big orange foam hand and he's waving hello to everybody. Really does love this show. As I said, a remarkable place to actually get back from. And you don't get this at other air shows at other locations. It's really... I'd also like to say a big thank you to the airstrip at the Causeway, and of course the Eglinton airfield, both of whom are supporting the air show by basing some of our aircraft there. And Pete obviously is based out the Causeway because he can land and take off in a very, very short distance, less than 150 yards, would you believe?
No?
Now I don't know about you. This is where he's showing you, basically he's using the rotor, the effect of the rotor, the pitch roll and yaw the aircraft simultaneously to make the tail basically go around in a circle. And I don't know about you, but that would make me feel heartily sick. And there's not many aeroplanes can